Hey, what's going on, everybody? In this video, I want to share with you the top 7 tools that I think that you need as a beginner woodworker that are essential to begin a woodworking side hustle. So let's go ahead and jump right into the list. Coming in at number 1 is the CNC. The CNC is imperative to have. Just kidding, guys. No, you don't need a CNC. Let's jump into the real list. Coming in at number 1 is a drill and impact driver combo set. And yes, in my opinion, I believe that you're going to need both. Having a drill and an impact driver is not only convenient, it's also more efficient. Typically, the drill is going to be used to make pilot holes into your material. Pilot holes are the holes in which your screws will go into. The impact driver will be the tool that you will use to put in the screws into the pilot holes. Having one dedicated tool for drilling and another dedicated tool for driving is such a time saver that you won't even realize it until you actually have both of them. And for lack of better terms, the impact driver is a lot stronger than your drill. You're going to need that power to drive into studs, tighten or remove bolts, or just drive screws into any type of material that you need. These are one of those tools that I believe that you should buy the best that you can right off the get-go. As a woodworker, you're going to be using these on nearly every single project, so I would suggest buying the best that you can afford. Coming in at number 2 is the miter saw. There's not a single project that I have made that has not gone through the miter saw at some point in that project. For anyone that doesn't know what the miter saw does, the miter saw allows you to cut your material to the correct length by cutting the width of the material. This is called a cross cut. The miter saw also allows you to make angled cuts called miter cuts or bevel cuts. While you may not immediately jump into miter cuts or bevel cuts, you will immediately jump into cross cuts, and that is why I believe that the miter saw is an essential tool for a beginner woodworker. Coming in at number 3 is the table saw. Similar to my miter saw, the majority of my projects go through a table saw. Actually, they pretty much all start at the table saw. I specifically use my table saw to cut my material down to the correct width, and this is called a rip cut. What's great about the table saw is that it allows me to buy larger material, and then I myself am able to rip it down to the size or mill it down to the correct size using the table saw. And as a beginner, you're probably going to be doing just that, breaking down your material to the correct width. But as you gain more experience, not only will you continue to do your rip cuts, you can then also do angle cuts and cross cuts. The table saw is one of the most versatile tools that you can do essentially what you can do on the miter saw on the table saw. Miter cuts, bevel cuts, and cross cuts all on the table saw. The table saw can be one of the most versatile tools, but also one of the most expensive tools. And that is why I believe that you should buy what you can afford. I initially started off with a used 1970s Makita contractor's table saw that had no bells and whistles, no safety features, and I think I'm better for it. Because it had no bells and whistles, I definitely had to respect the tool and be careful every single time that I used it. My recommendation is buy what you can afford. You don't have to break the bank on this one. A used table saw is more than sufficient, but if you can go a little more expensive, then by all means, definitely go for it. Number 4 are going to be your clamps. Really not much to say here, guys. You're going to need the clamps to be able to hold your material straight and tight while you're joining the 2 pieces or more together. For example, when you're trying to join 2 pieces of material together with screws and you're not using clamps, more than likely you're going to see that your materials are going to move as you drive in that screw. Clamps eliminate that. The starting clamp is usually the F clamp. It's very economical and also very versatile. I have 4 F clamps, and with those 4 F clamps, I've made everything from a cutting board all the way up to a crib, just with those 4 F clamps. I also like the quick grip bar clamps. I would recommend picking up a set of these along with your F clamps. Coming in at number 5 is the Orbital Sander. And similar to the clamps, there's not much to say here, guys. The Orbital Sander is going to give you that final smooth, soft to the touch feel that your projects need every single time. And coming in at number 6 is your nail gun and air compressor. Although these are 2 different tools, you're going to use them at the same time, so that's why I put them together at number 6. A lot of beginning projects are small. Some of these small projects require some sort of joining method other than screws. Screws are great and they're needed, but not every single project requires a screw. Sometimes you need something smaller, more delicate, such as a brad nail. A lot of beginner projects simply use glue and brad nails. You can make anything from rustic flags, shelves, bottle openers. Take a look at my other videos. I made those exact 3 things: rustic flag, bottle opener, and shelves, and I didn't use screws in any of those. You don't need anything top of the line, but get what you can afford. I'm still using my 3-gallon Harbor Freight air compressor to this day, and I'm 5 years into my woodworking journey. Get something that will get you going. Last but not least, number 7 is the Kreg Jig. The Kreg Jig, I think, is an essential tool to beginner woodworker because it allows you to start building things that are functional. Yes, you can make decor with the brad nails and glue, but if you're wanting to make something practical and functional, such as coffee tables, coffee bars, maybe some tables. The Kreg Jig is the fastest way to get you learning and making something. I know that pocket hole joinery sometimes gets a bad reputation, but I believe as a beginner woodworker, you need to start being able to visualize things such as putting things together, joining things together, and this is a great stepping stone into other types of joinery. All right guys, so you guys made it to the very end. Here is the bonus tip or the bonus tool. The bonus tool that I recommend is the Silhouette Cameo. It is a vinyl cutter. I believe that the vinyl cutter is an essential tool to any woodworking side hustler because it's going to allow you to add customizations to all your projects or nearly all of your projects. You can definitely build simple projects without a vinyl cutter. Don't get me wrong, you don't need it. For example, you can build bottle openers without the use of a vinyl cutter. But the vinyl cutter is going to allow you to add customizations that will set you apart from your competition, but also allow you to charge more for that customization, allowing you to maximize your profit in the long run. All right guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks guys. Whoa, before you guys go, hold up, we got merch, we have t-shirts, we have hats available in the description below. Make sure to take a look at them and you can support the channel that way as well. We appreciate you guys and we'll see you soon.